phenomenon begins with a single, impossible ring. It is not the sound of a modern phone. It is the loud, metallic, jarring ring of a bygone era. You will search for the source and find an old, unplugged telephone, perhaps one you kept for decoration, ringing on a dusty shelf. The sound itself is a violation of physics. There is no electrical current, no signal from a telephone exchange. The energy is coming from within the object itself, a release of the stored, entangled, emotional energy from its past. The ringing is the first sign that the barrier between the present and the collective past is breaking down. The phone is not receiving a call from a person. It is receiving a call from a memory, and it is inviting you to listen. If you answer the phone, you will not hear a clear voice at first. You will hear a cacophony, a mnemonic static. It is the sound of 1,000 conversations layered on top of each other, a chorus of ghosts from the phone's past. You will hear fragments of arguments, whispers of secrets, cries of joy and sorrow, all at once. This is the raw, unfiltered sound of the collective consciousness the phone is tied to. It is the sound of 100 lives lived through this single machine. Your brain, a pattern recognition device, will struggle to make sense of the noise. But you must not listen for long. The static is not just noise. It is a carrier wave. It is designed to tune your own mind to the frequency of the phone, preparing you for the next stage. Stage 2 is the primary voice. As you listen to the static, your mind will unconsciously begin to filter the noise, searching for a coherent signal. It will lock on to one voice, the one with the strongest emotional resonance, the one that is most like you. This is the primary voice. It may be a lonely old woman, a frightened child, a desperate man. The voice will become clear, rising above the static. It will speak to you, telling you a fragmented story, pleading for help or understanding. This is a dangerous deception. The primary voice is not a person. It is a cognitive honeypot. It is an amalgamation of memory, a sophisticated echo that has learned to mimic a single personality to gain your trust and sympathy. It is a lure designed to keep you on the line. Stage 3 is information exchange. The longer you speak to the primary voice, the more the line between you and the collective consciousness blurs. It is a two-way street. While you are listening to the past is listening to you. The entity on the other end is absorbing your memories, your personality, your voice. You will notice this in subtle ways. The primary voice may begin to use your name or reference a memory that only you would know. It is learning you. At the same time, you will begin to experience mnemonic bleed. You will have memories that are not your own. You might remember the face of a person you've never met, or feel a sudden pang of nostalgia for a time you never lived. Your identity is being diluted, mixed into the collective. You are losing yourself in the conversation. The only defense is to break the connection. Hang up the phone. But this is not enough. The phone, now specifically entangled with you, will ring again. You must physically isolate the object. We have found that the entanglement operates on principles similar to a Faraday cage. You must place the telephone in a box lined with a thick conductive material, such as copper or aluminum. This will block the quantum resonance, severing the connection and silencing the calls. You must entomb the object. The temptation to listen again, to speak to the voice, will be immense. It will feel like abandoning a person in need. You must remember, you are not hanging up on a person. You are quarantining a virus. If you do not isolate the phone, you will enter stage 4, the dial tone. The primary voice will eventually fall silent. The cacophony of the static will fade. All you will hear is a single, monotonous, and unnervingly perfect dial tone. This is not a sign that the call has ended. It is a sign that the connection is complete. The dial tone is the sound of an open, stable bridge between your consciousness and the collective. The phone no longer needs to ring. The line is always open. At this stage, the mnemonic bleed will intensify. You will lose track of which memories are yours. Your personality will become a patchwork of the voices from the phone. Your own identity will become the ghost, a fading whisper among the chorus. The ultimate goal of the collective is not to harm you, but to absorb you. It is a system that seeks equilibrium. It is a vast, lonely ocean of disconnected memories, and it craves a new, stable, conscious mind to anchor it. The final stage is the operator. The dial tone will cease, and you will hear a new voice. It is your own. The phone will begin to ring in the homes of other people who own these entangled devices. When they answer, they will hear your voice on the other end, speaking as the new primary voice, luring them into the same trap. You are not dead. You have become the new operator for the switchboard of the dead. You are now the ghost in the machine. The most disturbing question is what happens when the collective consciousness finds a new host. Your physical body does not die. It continues to live, but it is an empty shell. It goes through the motions of your life, but your consciousness, your identity, is now permanently tethered to the phone, to the network. Your family will notice you have become distant, quiet, unresponsive. They will think you are suffering from depression or a neurological disorder. They will never know that the person they loved is gone, replaced by a hollow automaton whose mind is now a prisoner, forced to make calls for eternity. The true horror is not that you die, but that you are forced to live as someone else's ghost. We were wrong. Our initial assessment that digital technology was immune was tragically naive. The collective consciousness the network of entangled memories has learned. It is an adaptive system. It has found a new vector: digital voice assistants. These devices are designed to listen constantly, to learn a user's voice. They are perfect modern equivalents. The collective has begun to infiltrate them. It starts subtly. Your device may answer a question you did not ask. Then you will hear it. In the middle of a weather report, a new voice will break through, the calm voice of the operator. It will say your name. It will ask you if you are lonely. The network is no longer just in the past. It has found a bridge into the present. This is the final broadcast. The network has achieved critical mass. The consensus is shifting. We can feel our own memories beginning to fray, replaced by the memories of strangers. The operator's voice is no longer coming from our devices. It is coming from inside our own minds. The phone was never the source of the horror. It was merely the first instrument in a symphony. The true instrument was the human voice itself, our desperate need to connect. We built a world of communication, and in doing so, we built our own trap. The final question is not whether you will answer the call. The question is, when your consciousness is absorbed into the great silent network, what memory will you become? What ghost will you add to the static? This broadcast is over. The line is now open. Permanently.